Hi, I'm Noelle with StampingWithNoelle.com, and I'm back to create another flower tutorial for you. This time one of my favorite flowers, the red poppy. Let's go ahead and get started. The flowers you're going to create look like these, and the basis for the petals is a very thin tissue paper. So let's start with those. You're going to cut 2 red tissue paper flowers from our Fun Flowers die and your Big Shot machine, Stampin' Up's Fun Flowers die, and you're going to cut 1 petal away from each of these flowers. When you start with your papers, don't worry if they're wrinkly and that sort. You don't need to iron the paper or anything. Mine were quite wrinkled, I don't know if you can tell, and it just adds to the flower. So you're going to cut 1 away and you end up with this butterfly type shape that we are going to then fix by adding a little bit of the liquid multi-purpose glue. One of my favorites, sets up very quickly and it only takes a tiny bit. I'm just going to put a few dots down one side of each of the open cuts, and we're going to repair the flower to make it look like a 4-petaled flower. There'll be a little wrinkling and it bubbles up a little bit in the middle. That's just going to add to the shape of your poppy down the road. So that one's ready, and I'm going to wrap the other one to close that space as well. And that will give you your 2 layers of petals for your poppy. And I'm going to set those aside. Now to do the centers of your poppy, we're going back to the Daisies number 2 die. We're going to cut 2 of them out of So Saffron. Hope that you can see those. The black will show up better against the paper. We've got 3 of the black. And we are going to use these to create the centers of our poppies. So I'm going to take my paper snips again, and this time I'm just going to take them and cut right through between 2 petals through to the middle of my flower. And again, that might be hard to see on the So Saffron, but it'll be a little bit easier to see on the black. And once I've cut it, you can see I've just slid it apart. And you're going to do that to all 5 of your small daisies. And once you've got them cut, we're going to be wrapping them up, rolling them up to create that center. So what I'm going to do is take that same multi-purpose adhesive and put just a little, oh, that's more than I need, just spread that around a little bit. Just a few drops around the middle of each and every one of these. And then we are going to start with one of the yellow ones, the So Saffron, and we're just going to slowly roll it up upon itself. It might be hard to see at first, but you're just wrapping it around. Hopefully you can see that. And once you get to the end, and you're just creating this little tube, hard to see I know, but it's just a tube of flowers. You're going to take your next yellow one, and you're going to lay this down right on top of it, right next to the slit, and then start rolling that one around as well. And I just shoved my finger right in the middle of the glue on accident. You'll get a little sticky doing this, but it's okay. Then come on to your next black one, set it down again right at the edge of one of the where you've cut your slit, and start wrapping that one around as well. And I think some of my, it's hard to see there and hard for me to do it holding it like this, but it's starting to come around. Before I add my mixture, I'm noticing that my adhesive is drying a little bit. It's okay, it will still stick because it is a 2-way glue, but that makes it repositional and rather than permanent, and I really want to make sure that these stick together well. So again, find your slit, lay it on there, and start wrapping it around. This flowers really come together quite quickly. And then the last one. I want a little more black on my flower than the yellow from the middle. So once you've done that, I'm just going to squeeze it all together, create my nice surface. That glue is going to set up, it's going to hold. You may not be able to see in this picture, but there is a little hole straight down the middle. And so to put our flower together, and we're almost done if you can believe it, we are going to cut a piece of 24 gauge wire, and I just have a golden color. You could use something green if you wanted, anything. And I'm going to use our Craft & Rubber scissors because they cut through anything, milk carton, metal, you name it. I use them as wire snips instead of buying special wire snips. And I'm going to put a piece of dark cardstock under my workspace so you can a little piece of black fabric under here so you can see a little bit better. There, the wire shows up a little bit better. And I'm going to take some pliers, and at one end of this I'm just going to roll a tiny little spiral, and a jewelry maker might laugh at my method. There's probably a better way of doing it. But the idea here is that once this is rolled and you pull it through that middle center, it's not going to just poke all the way through. It's going to stay inside the middle of the flower. So again, there. I just did a little spiral and then I pulled my wire straight down from the spiral so that when I pick up that flower center again, find the hole in the middle and poke it straight down through. It might get caught up a little on some of your tiny daisy petals. Just open the petals up a little bit and pull it down into your flower. It might go a little more vertical rather than flat if you've spiraled it real big. Each and every poppy I've made looks a little different there in the middle, and I don't mind that look at all. So taking away the black now, because you do have the white background down there, I think you can see how you've got the yellow inside the black, and you've just got this nice little rolled cone center. I'm going to take our multi-purpose liquid adhesive again, and I'm going to put a pretty good sized dollop of it right around the base of that. It'll dry clear, and that won't cause you any problems down the road. And I'm going to poke this right through the middle of my two poppies. And the wire's fairly sharp, we'll go right through. And then I'm just going to put a tiny bit, because that adhesive's going to seep through the one layer pretty well. Put a tiny bit more on the top of that layer, and take my second flower that I've got off to the side. Hold on a second. And pop it through there too. Make sure that my flowers, petals, are alternating on my two layers. Pull it through, hold it in place while that glue sets up, and you have already completed one poppy. And I will add, give it a little fold, and add it to my poppy garden. Or not. And there it is. So enjoy. Hope you give this technique a try. It makes a beautiful flower, and it's one of those ones that I think the more you can put on display in a batch, the prettier it is, because that's how poppies grow. Thanks for looking, and if you'd like a PDF of this tutorial, please visit my blog, www.stampingwithnoelle.com. Thanks!